Alright, a strength standards video. So I'll start with each of the power lifts and then some calisthenics lifts. Bench press. The minimum every man who is healthy can bench press, which will pass beginner, is 225 pounds. Every man can bench press 225 pounds if they train for a few years, even with the lowest genetics. And then to enter intermediate, every man can bench 275 pounds. And to get into pretty good bench range, meaning you bench a lot of weight and you've been putting time in the gym, it would be 315 pounds. And any man could get minimum 315 pounds or maximum if you even have bad genetics or you just put your whole life in the gym and not being fat, you could bench 315 pounds. So I would say the bare minimum is 315-pound bench press to be good at bench press, to say that you lift. So every man, including natural, could bench press 315 pounds. With the worst genetics, maybe you won't exceed 315 pounds. So when will bench start to be strong? Anything above 315 pounds. Maybe 315 to 365 pounds would be pretty advanced for most males. 315 to 365. And to be a good bencher, like elite, I would say anything above 405. When you hit 405-pound bench press, you're an elite bencher. Even naturally, anything 405 and over, 405 minimum and over, that means you're a gifted bencher. Naturally, or just in general, you're a gifted bencher if you bench press 405 pounds. And anything above 405 pounds, like 455, 450, that means you're a gifted bencher if you bench press 455 or 450. And what for naturals or anyone in general, 500 and above, that means you're just a freak bencher. If you could bench press 500 and above, that means you're a freak. Gifted is 405. Really gifted is 455. Freak is 500 and above. And then, of course, if you hit 500 above 500, that means you're just insane. Maybe 550, 585, 600 and above. Once you hit 600, then you just put on this, or 585 or 600, you just put on this earth to bench. And you're just a master at bench. And so that's pretty much gonna cover it. Every man can get 315 minimum to be a good bencher. 315 to 365. You're doing well in the gym. 315 is the minimum. 225, that's like beginner. That's what any man could get when they just put a few years in the gym, even with the worst genetics. And if you can't bench 315 because of your genetics, you could get at least 225 or 275 and still look good and be good at bench and be your best you can be at bench. All right, next lift, the squat. Most men could squat 315. 315 is like a squat is like a 225-pound bench. And that's like the minimum for, okay, this guy puts time in the gym. 315-pound squat or 225 pounds for 10 reps. After that, it would be like maybe 365 would be like a 275-pound bench, a 365-pound squat. Like a 315-pound deadlift, it would be anywhere between 405 and 455. That means you put time in training legs. If you squat between 405 and 455, that means you're a decent squatter. And and once you hit 500, actually, a 500-pound squat, that means you're a good squatter if you could squat 500. And anywhere between 500 and 550, that means you're you're a decent squatter. And a gifted squatter would be anywhere from 585 to 600. 585 or 600, you're a gifted squatter. You're kind of, yeah, you're a gifted squatter, 585 or 600. And anything above 600, like 600 to 650, that means you are that means you're just a really gifted squatter. 675 or 500 or 700 squat, 675 or 700, that means you're a freak squatter and you're gifted in the squat. And anything above 675 or 700, that means you like mastered the squat and you just keep going. In deadlift, any man could deadlift 315 pounds. That's a given. And like a 315-pound squat and 225-pound bench, most men could, who just are conventional gym goers, could aim for a 405-pound deadlift. And even 365 or 405-pound deadlift. And to be considered a okay deadlifter, 405 to 455. And then there's a 500-pound deadlift, meaning that you put some time deadlifting, you put some time in the gym. That'd be a okay deadlift, 500. And to be considered a good deadlifter, you get 550 pounds to 600. 550 pounds, 585, 600-pound deadlifter, you're a good deadlifter. And you get 600 to 650 pounds deadlift, you're a pretty strong deadlifter. To get a gifted deadlift, you deadlift 675 pounds to 675 pounds or 700 pounds, you're a gifted deadlifter. Anything above 700, even naturally, you're a really gifted deadlifter. And then 765, 800 pounds, 765, 775, 785, 800-pound deadlifter, you're a freak deadlifter. And anything above those numbers, like anything above 800, you're a freak deadlifter. And then we have overhead press, strict, standing, or seated. But let's go with standing. 135, you're basically like a 225-pound bencher. 135 pounds standing strict overhead. And that's what any man could get with few like years in the gym. And then you're pretty good once you get 185 pounds standing strict overhead. That's like between a 275-pound and 315-pound bench, 185-pound strict overhead press. And then once you get to the 225-pound range, that means you're starting to get good at the strict overhead. And then once you get to like the 250 to 270-pound range, you're actually gifted at strict overhead, especially once you hit 275 pounds on strict overhead, you're gifted. And then you're in the freak mode once you hit, let's say, 315 pounds on strict overhead, 3 plates aside. Standing strict overhead, you're a freak once you do 315 pounds. Genetic freak. And anything more than that, like maybe 4 or 5, you're extremely gifted. Or you could do an easy 505 pounds like my boy Andrew Richard. Extreme freak. With the gifted, natty, overhead presser on the planet. And it's gonna surpass Iron Bibby. But anyway. And let's see. Another lift. I would do barbell rows, but the strength standards, I'm not gonna do it because it's easy to bastardize the movement. It's easy to do it with bad form. So it's hard to have a conventional. I have conventional strength standards for barbell row, but people do way too upright, way too much cheating with bad form for me to want to measure that movement. Alright, so let's do the incline bench. Incline barbell. So one and like a 225-pound barbell incline, any man could get 185 pounds. And then maybe 185 pounds would be like exiting beginner. And then maybe 225 pounds would be okay. 275-pound incline bench would be like a 315-pound bench press. And then once you get 315 pounds incline bench, that means you're pretty decent at the incline bench. Once you get 365, it's like a 4 or 5 pound bench. You're gifted in the incline. And then once you get 4 or 5 and above, you're pretty freakish at the incline bench. It's like close to a 500-pound bench, a 4 or 5 pound incline. And then you hit like 500, you pretty much mastered the incline, even 455. Okay, front squats. So, any man could front squat 225, that's like beginner. We'll say 275. And then 315, that's starting of being a pretty good front squatter. It's like a 4 or 5 pound squat, a 315-pound front squat. And then 365 pounds, that means you actually put time, that's pretty good. 4 or 5 is the minimum of a good front squatter, that's like close, if not a 500-pound squat, a 4 or 5 pound front squat. And then 455-pound front squat, that's like, a strong front squatter, almost gifted. You're a gifted front squatter if you front squat 500 or even a little less, but let's say 500. 500 front squat, you're a freakish front squatter. And then you hit more than 500, like 550, 585, 600. That means you just mastered the front squat. You're a freak. But your minimum would be like 500 front squat, 500 pounds. Alright, so now let's do some calisthenics. Push-ups. So leaving the beginner, you would do 20 push-ups. 20 to 25 push-ups would be leaving beginner. Any man can do 20 to 25 push-ups. And then once you hit the 30 to 35 range, that means like you put time doing push-ups. Once you hit 40 to 45, that means you're okay at push-ups. You're decent at push-ups. Once you hit 50 reps push-ups, that means you're good at push-ups. Given you go all the way up, all the way down, good reps, locking out the reps, 50 push-ups is the start of being good at push-ups. That means you're good. And then once you hit like 75, you're really gifted at push-ups. 75 reps. Freak, 100 reps. Alright, so dips. Same thing as push-ups. And once you hit like, actually similar, dips. 10 reps, any man could get 10 reps of dips. And then 20 reps dips. That'll be good. That means you put in time doing dips. Once you get like 30, 35 dips, that's really good. And then 50 dips, that's gifted. And then freak, let's just say 75 to 100 reps. You're a freak at dips. And then let's do weighted dips. So 45 pounds for 10 reps. That's the start of good for dips. That's start of leaving beginning for dips. 95 pounds for 10 reps. That means you're good at dips. 135 pounds for 5 to 10 reps. That means you're decent at dips. 185 pounds for at least 1 rep. That means you're like a 315-pound bencher, or maybe 365 depending on how you weigh. Remember, weighing more into bodyweight exercises will skew the strength standards, you have to go a little bit lower in the range. But 180-pound dip, aka 4 plates, 4 45-pound plates, that means you actually are pretty good at dips. Then 200 to 25 pounds, you're really good at dips. And freakish, I would say anything like 250, 270, 300 and above on weighted dips. 300 pounds, that is. 250, 270, 300 pounds and above weighted dips, you're really strong at weighted dips. Alright, so pull-ups, chin-ups, and the spectrum. So, getting 5 pull-ups, 5 chin-ups, that means you put in some time doing the movement, that's beginner. 10 pull-ups and chin-ups, especially if you weigh a lot, but 10 pull-ups, 10 chin-ups, or whatever, that means you're good. That's like a 315-pound bench. Getting 15 reps, that means you're really good. You're gifted once you get 20 reps, pull-ups and chin-ups. Even weighing a lot, you're gifted once you get 20 reps. 25 reps, 30 reps, 35 reps, that means you're pretty much freak. And you mastered it. Let's give an outlandish number like 50 reps. You mastered the pull-ups, chin-ups movement, and then you get more reps than 50. You mastered the movement. And if you're able to do one arm chin-ups, you're pretty much a freak at the movement. One arm, as in just one arm, no other arm supporting. Just one arm. And especially if you're heavier, the heavier you are doing this movement, the more freakish you are. Because that's more weight. So you're a freak already if you could do the movement at the movement. But if you do it with extra weight, or you do like 5 to 10 reps, or you do 2 reps, 3 reps, you're an extreme freak. 5 reps, you're extreme freak. 10 reps, you're extremely freaky. So you're a freak already if you do them one arm pull-ups, one arm chin-ups. And let's do weighted chin-ups. You're a freak. I mean, you're same thing. Doing it with 45 pounds for like 5 to 10 reps, you're strong. I mean, doing 25 pounds for 5 to 10 reps, you're good. 45 pounds for 5 to 10 reps, you're strong. 95 pounds for 5 to 10 reps, you're really strong. 135 pounds for 1 to 5 reps, you're gifted. 180 pounds for 1 rep, you're pretty much a freak. And anything more than that, 200 pounds, 225 pounds, 250 pounds for 1 rep on the weighted pull-up, chin-up, you mastered the movement. So that's pretty much all the movements I could give. Those are the strength standards. Let's see how you measure up. So tell me, I know it's hard not to make this a boring video, but tell me the lifts you hit on each of these movements if you watch the whole video. Tell me some of your strength standards. Tell me where you lie. And let me hear some of your strength standards in the comments. Let me see where you lie in each of the strength standards I gave. Let's see where you measure up and what are your goals in each of these lifts. And if you like the video, just leave a like, share, subscribe, and ask for more comments. Ask for more comments. That makes no sense. Just comment and ask me what other videos you like me to make where I could just shoot the elaborate, and peace out, homies.